whores and gentle whores and retards of all ages. How's it going? We are, oh my god, hold the F up, bro. Yo, some new games have come out today. Well, it looks like I'm gonna have to make some more reviews now, won't I? So by the way, do not forget, guys, if you appreciate what I'm doing here, the best way, and really the only way that you can show that to me is, for one, please like the video and subscribe, retard. Then on top of that, please, like actually, the main way that you can show to me that you appreciate what I'm doing here is pick up my books, and read them, of course. Share me your thoughts. It would mean a whole lot to actually hear your thoughts on my books. I am doing this so that, for one, we can trash on a lot of these trash games. But outside of that, I'm doing this so that I can be your solution to the wokeness in our media and storytelling. We don't have proper creativity and imagination in our stories today. So if you have ever spent $50, $60, $70 on a game, especially a woke game, then again, check out my books. I made them for you guys so that you would have a proper alternative to the woke nonsense that we're getting today. All right? And these are the stories that belong in our movies and in our games. So, of course, that is the intention. So, guys, we're talking about Ubisoft today. We're getting closer and closer to the actual release of this dog filth game. So, I decided, though, we're going to... for one, I guess we're going to be picking up this one new game that came out today, so you can go check that out on the gaming channel. But, yeah. So right now, we're going to see what's going on with this game here.
Hey everyone, Assassin's Creed Shadows is less than a month away, and things couldn't be looking more bleak for this game if Ubisoft tried. Because everything is pointing towards this game being one of the biggest releases of the year in terms of the culture.
Oh yeah, and by the way, we're playing this on 2x speed, but I can make it 1.5 for now, but, we want to get through this quick.
And the ongoing conversation. And now Japanese players are roasting the game, and this big media blowout that Ubisoft did for this game has not stayed.
Let me show.
Is she single though? Is that my mail order bride?
I'm not lying. This whole thing just feels like a mess. As that Park Place puts it, it also doesn't help that during the live stream, viewers in the comments pointed out how poorly written the dialogue was and how terrible the voice acting sounded. Like many others, I have to ask, where's the improvement? The combat system remains janky, the cutscenes are stiff, and the character models look unsettling when interacting with NPCs. It's almost as if their mouths are unsynced. It feels unnatural, like watching a doll talk instead of a human being. The effect is oddly reminiscent.
Ubisoft has always had a giant problem with proper facial animations. I don't know why, and I don't know how they've refused to actually develop in this area of their development. I don't know what it is, but they just... Oh, yo, should I try this other game out? I'm seeing this one game. You know what? I can maybe play this random game that I'm seeing right now. Anyway, moving on. Yeah, they do terribly, though. I don't know. The only thing they've ever done really well is environmental design. That's the only thing they do really well. There's a bunch of games that have very ugly levels and worlds, but Ubisoft, that's the only thing they can do well.
Of Bethesda's Oblivion NPC talking heads, but without the nostalgic charm. And that's another problem, which is that Shadows, despite this alleged $20 million influx of extra development that they put in, it doesn't seem to have improved anything. To think the game looks this mid after a big delay like this is crazy, but it gets weirder. Like I said, Yasuke feels like he's being erased from his own game when it comes to the marketing. Looking at the thumbnail poster that Ubisoft has been using to promote the game now going forward, players are criticizing Ubisoft, that Yasuke is being downsized in the promotional art on purpose. Also, can I just say that having only 500,000 views for your new trailer for your brand spanking new Assassin's Creed mainline game, that is actually awful. Like, I'm not kidding. Go look at their other trailers from the old...
Yeah, people used to be really excited for Assassin's Creed. But don't worry, the shills are still excited.
Their Assassin's Creed games, they are in the multiple millions. And you're telling me that people can't be bothered to even watch your new trailer, man? What is going on here?
Dude, again, this is what happens when you make everything lame and gay. This is what happens. What is that? Geralt hates DEI, okay? DEI kills art. DEI detected, game rejected. Yep. That's true. I don't know who this person is.
Twitter user Gerald Hates DEI tagged me and others in this post where Ubisoft has gone out of their way to do exactly what players are criticizing them of doing. Here we have the image before, which had both protagonists in clear view on Ubisoft's main site for the game to promote it. But below, we have the current version after this media update, and Yasuke is completely missing from the promotional art for the game, and this is on the main website, by the way. That's pathetic, dude. Like I said, based on those previews, which you can go watch yourselves if you want from whoever, the overwhelming majority just found the game to be mid or disappointing at best. And the fact that the criticism surrounding how Yasuke played and failed to handle didn't stop at the fact that this guy can barely climb anything, or do basic stealth in a game called Assassin's Creed, but his missions are apparently also very bland to play as well over those of Naoe's. It really does feel like Ubisoft is trying to erase Yasuke from their entire marketing strategy, because they know that his existence has caused overwhelmingly negative feelings towards this game, and I mean for good reason. Pretty much every problem, well, maybe not all of them, but like 90% at least, yeah, that's still a lot, is from Yasuke being in this game. A Twitter user named Random Yoko translated comments that Japanese players left for Ubisoft after they showed new gameplay for Assassin's Creed, and well, they aren't looking good. One of these comments said, "Because of you, some people overseas now believe that Yasuke, a black man, was a samurai who significantly..."
Because of you, some people overseas now believe that Yasuke, a black man, was a samurai who significantly impacted Japanese history. This has led to a harmful trend of black supremacists. Oh, that's so funny. That's so funny. Someone actually calling that out. Yeah, dude, there's so many black people. They think that they are the end all and be all of civilizations across the world, even though, of course, we know from the blacks. What have you made? Oh, that's right. You've pillaged your own countries, and generations of grape and conflict and property damage. Yeah. Came down to a bunch of billionaires and millionaires, and also government funding from the American government to actually build up Africa. Nowadays, Africa is starting to look a little bit more developed as a nation, but that's just because of all the outside funding from America and China, by the way. So, supremacists claiming that samurai originated from black people, oh god, dude, they always do this. They say that everything originates with black people, including Christianity, because the whole thing about Ethiopian Bible, and it's just tiring. Just no, and also no.
Impacted Japanese history. This has led to a harmful trend of black supremacists.
I've been talking about this for a long time. A bunch of these wokies, they believe in relativism so greatly. They've literally been recently saying that Asian does not actually exist, that it is actually European, but that also Asians and Europeans, they have a fundamental racial basis within black heritage. They've been saying this for the longest time.
Claiming that samurai originated from black people and that Japanese culture is essentially black. AI-generated images of black samurai are now being spread as if they were his.
By the way, I do think it's stupid that we're going to sit here and talk about, oh my gosh, this is super offensive. But no, it's just stupid. And like, they're playing at the liberal game where it's like we have to talk about who's more offended than the other. But it's just retarded that anyone's talking like this. Again, it's just downright stupid, and it's wrong. Like, informationally wrong, but here we are. It's incorrect.
Japanese culture is essentially black. AI-generated images of black samurai are now being spread as if they were historical facts. This is a very serious offense. Yeah, I've seen those, and you probably have too. There has been this very stupid trend of black people believing that they somehow originated from like everywhere in the world. And I mean everything. They were Egyptians, apparently. They were also Nordic, and they were also Japanese.
Yes.
It is as dumb as it sounds. But
yes. Blacks believe in this, man. They literally believe in this. Oh my, but you know, the one thing that blacks don't believe in is Africa. They never talk about their own home country. They always talk about, well, we was Kangs, we was samurai, we was Atlanteans, we was the white peoples, we was Egyptians. They never say we was Africans. They never do that. They always just talk about we was all the other races.
But yeah.
Clown world. Again, remember this. These people actually believe that race is
There are actually
relative
hordes
and that
of
black
people out
people are
here.
the basis of all civilization.
Thinking that the entire world somehow originated from black people. I'm losing my composure, I apologize. But this rhetoric has been amplified thanks to Ubisoft essentially amplifying this fake news push with their game. Because in their canon here, Yasuke is clearly instrumental in saving Japan, despite him doing nothing but getting caught and then being sold back to slavers in real life. Another Japanese user would say, "We cannot accept the blurring of lines between fiction and reality. While Japanese people are very tolerant of creative works, we cannot simply ignore the fact that our country's history is being distorted or grossly misunderstood by so-called historians who are careless about the truth. It is clear that Yasuke was not a samurai, but rather a retainer of Nobunaga Oda. Please understand." I mean, exactly this. Sure, AC games have twisted history. I mean, what are the chances that, like, Ezio Auditore would meet so many prominent famous people in Italy and be tied to all of them at the same time? Of course, it's unlikely, but that is a...
No. Oh my God. Bro, can people stop being retards about everything? Here's the problem. For one, you're trying to push this idea that black people were samurai. Just enough. It's just a stupid idea. Enough. We know that's stupid. Enough. Outside of that, the problem is that you're not playing as a Japanese man in a Japanese freaking setting. It's freaking stupid. Nobody wants to play as a black man in a Japanese setting.
fun twist incorporating real people into your game. But claiming that Japan was saved by a black slave is just going to cause people who push progressive revisionisms of history to take this as fact when it is not factually true at all. And did I just say factually? That's not even a real word. Anyway, another user would say, "They told us that beheading was a daily occurrence in Japan, and now they're telling us we can't do it in the Japanese version. I distinctly remember players were able to slice through enemies in Ghost of Tsushima, so changing Legendary Samurai to Fearless Warrior is the extent of your modifications. That's just doublespeak." Yeah, so apparently the Japanese version of Shadows is censored in a sense because you are not able to behead enemies or dismember them because this goes against how samurais are depicted and treated in Japanese culture. Apparently, that's what's going on. I don't know. Ubisoft has also been censoring or downright erasing the term samurai from Shadows as well. Yeah, that's real. And they're replacing it with Fearless Warrior instead to describe people like Yasuke. This is, again, more changes by Ubisoft to pretty much push Yasuke as far away as humanly possible.
This is why they're delaying the game. They're making all these changes for damage control so that nobody laughs them out of the room as hard as... I mean, it's just so that people have less ammunition, even though everyone's going to have a bunch of ammunition regardless against this game. Man, this is just stupid.
From anything that could be deemed offensive, as well as erasing him in the art, that's amazing, dude. My God. A valiant effort, maybe, but ultimately the game is still going to be about a big black dude in Japan murdering hordes of Japanese ethnic men in every single level you play as him. By the way, from the previews I watched, 99% of Yasuke's story missions are just him walking somewhere, breaking doors down, and then just killing everyone. And then he just goes upstairs to kill more people until eventually he reaches like a big bad boss and then kills them, I guess, and then the mission is over. Pretty much any and all actual gameplay variety is not even tied to Yasuke, but Naoe instead. At this point, it seems somewhat pointless to even play any of the missions in-game as Yasuke, to be real with you, because there's no gameplay variety. Why would I want to play every level of a game called Assassin's Creed like it's a bad version of Ninja Gaiden, pretty much? When Ninja
Exactly. Absolutely.
Gaiden is far better in every way anyways at this, and at least doesn't star a guy murdering ethnic people to that region without punity. By the way, off topic a bit, Ninja Gaiden Black 2 is dope as hell. I'm playing it right now. I'm loving it. I beat the original when it first came out. It's easily my favorite game in the series, and the remake is basically the same. It just looks better. Highly recommend it.
It looks way better. Way better.
Also, it has no identity politics or anything stupid in it like Shadows. It's awesome, man. Anyway, back...
Well, no, yeah, it's ethnic to its region, and it has hot white women in it, which is even better.
Back to Ass Creed. The point here is that Yasuke is not doing Ubisoft any favors, and the fact that they're essentially erasing the guy from marketing material, that tells me everything I need to know about this game. Which is simply that Ubisoft knows that they screwed up big time, but they've spent far too much time investing in Yasuke when it comes to this game already, clearly. And they don't have the time or the money to completely remove him anymore, so all they can do is try to be as deceptive as humanly possible to ensure that they get some sales from this game for people that maybe don't know the situation surrounding it. But yeah, it is really pathetic to see Ubisoft reduced to this, especially with their main series like this. And then another user would say, okay, I get it, so Ubisoft is trying to divide Japan and the rest of the world. You want us Japanese to just sit back and let Westerners rewrite our history? Ubisoft is a terrible company. To be real with you, yeah, Ubisoft wants to do just that, pretty much. And no, I'm not kidding. They were jumping on the revisionist DEI bandwagon with Shadows and clearly wanted to rewrite history and add their new girl bosses. But
well,
now
that's what leftists believe in.
They couldn't be releasing this game at a more terrible...
That is what leftists believe in. This is literally what they believe in. This is literally what they want to do. So yeah, I mean, they want to believe that everyone's a melting pot, or that the melting pot has had a significant impact on every culture across the globe, especially the cultures that people revere the most, which a lot of people You know, a lot of people, they respect Japanese history and culture for the most part, especially outside of the white countries, because most people, they look up to and respect white countries. That's why they're pillaging them right now. But outside of that, you've got Japan, where there's a lot of respect for its history, just because it looks cool and it was cool, right next to knights, you know, medieval period and all kinds of other stuff. You know, and like, I guess same thing with China, but like obviously China, that has a very long history. So there's a lot of negatives and positives with China, but you know, that's the way it goes. Same thing with Rome. And so they always want to say that black people were instrumental in any civilization that was noteworthy throughout history, like Rome, like Greece. They haven't really tried with China, but they're trying now with Japan.
Time, considering how the culture has, shifted like this. The game is also being criticized for not understanding how bamboo works either, as this user said here with the video in question at the bottom playing. Swordsman here, cutting bamboo horizontally is quite challenging. Yasuke cut in a perfect horizontal line with 0 resistance, felling more bamboo than the sword can reach. Then, what must have been about 50 to 100 kilograms of bamboo fell on Yasuke, and he didn't move at all. And are we really surprised at this point?
I get it. I really cannot stand autistic people like this. Dude, it's a video game. It's a freaking video game, man. Nobody cares about whether or not bamboo's heavy and it's going to make you stumble. Now, yeah, attention to detail like that, it would just show how much the developers love the game they're making if they had attention to detail, and that would be nice. But like, nobody actually cares. Just stop, man. Like, you're really picking at straws doing this. It's a video game, bro. Go, if you want realistic bamboo, go outside. I cannot stand this with freaking nerds. They don't go outside. One more time. They don't go outside. They do not go outside. So now they want outside to be reflected in their games. Dude, just go outside, touch some bamboo, and sit back in your freaking gamer chair. Okay, bro? You're playing a video game. It's a simulation on reality. It's not freaking real life. Oh my, or you can go grab some bamboo from outside and then you can sit down with it and sniff it as you're playing your game.
Apparently Yasuke is so strong that the dude can actually casually just walk through solid brick in-game, and no, I'm not kidding. Ubisoft has based...
I mean, yeah, that's ridiculous. Like, I get the point being made, but dude, let's just be honest, it's ridiculous. And again, nobody's looking for absolute realism in fiction and fantasy. No one's looking for that. It's like, well, a lightsaber actually wouldn't do this, it would do that. It's like, okay, well, it's Star Wars is Star Wars. It's not real life, bro. Like, come on. When people want, again, it just needs to make sense within the world that you create. That's what fiction is about. Let's make it make sense here in our creative idea. But it doesn't so much matter outside of your creative idea, because fiction is not about the real world. Now, it needs to have a premise, a basis within reality, but then you play around with that basis, right? Like, chickens are not dinosaurs, but you could make a fantasy game where a chicken is a dinosaur. Well, that's incorrect. I went outside and I took a photo of my chicken. This is never going to be, I fed it 100 kilograms of meat every day, and it never turned into a dinosaur. This is preposterous. How dare you? You're spreading misinformation on chickens through your video game. Oh my God. I mean, that's literally what it is. Get over it, dude. It's freaking fiction. It's freaking fantasy. It's not to represent the real world. The basis, again, it's about having a premise within reality. That's what matters, you know? Making a woman as strong as a man is stupid, because the premise within reality is what? We know what women are, we know what men are. Stop making women have the role of men. That is disgusting. Okay, when we're talking about... how is this not common sense for people? Dude. The Overton window has shifted so crazily that now we just think that propaganda is acceptable. Because, right, it's ridiculous. Oh gosh. Oh my dude, people are just autistic. Like I'm getting to a point where I just give up. Like you're a freaking retard. You're a little bonehead retard. Go screw yourself. Literally go find some rope and taste it. Just put it, you know, just taste it. Just go chew on some rope, bro. Just find it and chew on it. Love of God, bro. These people need to take themselves out of the population. I'm just saying. I'm so sick and tired of retards. Okay, again. It is ridiculous to have a black man in Japan. But, and I'm not, by the way, I did not mean to compare these two things, even though they sound like a comparison, but I'm saying these two things separately. So anyways, a black man in Japan is ridiculous. But bamboo, not being as heavy as it is in real life, as a person cuts it, or, you know, also as thick and resilient against a blade, it does not matter. It does not matter. Okay? This is fiction. So, and there's so many things where this applies with lightsabers, with other things. This is fiction. So we play with the basis of reality. Okay? So put a Japanese man into the game, and that's fine that bamboo doesn't operate the way that you think it should. It's fine. It's a video game. But, you know, it should be a Japanese man in a Japanese base game. Simple stuff, man. What is with this retardation of people? I don't get it. You know, they want this unrealistic expectation to be met with everything.
Basically turn this guy into an overtuned superhero pretty much. Not to mention, there's this other nameless girl boss in this game that's getting advertised that we don't know their name, so I am going to call her Yoshi Porky Mitsu, because my god, that's a big lady dude. So here we see Porky Mitsu kicking a male Japanese samurai as if he's nothing.
On. Dude, enough with the obese women are disgusting, and she's not even obese. It's a muscle woman. Muscle women do not exist. Muscle women are ridiculous. Why is she buffer than dudes? Oh my
She's
gosh.
just so strong, and just look at the size of that woman.
Man,
she looks
dude,
like she
the
runs out of breath
wokies.
standing up. Never mind fighting.
Okay, being autistically realistic about things within fiction is a problem. But then, being deconstructive on a premise of reality is a problem. Specifically for what we know psychologically about men and women. Again, women are not built like this. Women are not men. Women are not as burly as men. Women, oh my gosh. Screw you, you stupid leftards. F yourself. Literally bone yourself. You're a freaking clown.
Can't wait to see more of her in-game. Because I bet she's going to be so strong she can manhandle hordes of men like they're nothing. She'll probably be a lesbian too, because, well,
yes.
it's Ubisoft. Then Hypnotic posted this, and I wanted to bring attention to it as well.
Clown
said,
world.
YouTuber and content creator Shohei Kondo gets his Assassin's Creed Shadows video removed for hate speech from YouTube. They are actively trying to suppress real Japanese voices for speaking out against Ubisoft, even when it's done in a constructive way like Shohei did. Insane. I am sure they will continue.
No, it should even be unconstructive. Stop it. I'm so sick and tired that people have to be freaking politically correct. And I thought, this is my problem, is that I thought, so did this happen recently? I don't know. But I thought Trump signed an executive order to ensure for freedom of speech. So YouTube right now, they're already going against, for years on end now, against the First Amendment. But this is going against, they are an American-based company, these pieces of filth. And they are superseding freedom of speech. What is this? What is this? This is unbelievable. No matter how constructive or unconstructive this guy is, you allow him his speech. What the hell, man? Screw you. Bro, they need to be tried for their crimes. It is an absolute crime to supersede the First Amendment. This is wrong. This is not acceptable. How dare you silence people? As an American company, you ensure the First Amendment. This is unacceptable.
Continue to target more Japanese and non-Japanese creators. And as you can see here, Shohei Kondo made a video stating that his previous Assassin's Creed Shadows video was indeed labeled as hate speech on YouTube, which is insane. He's very clearly a Japanese man himself.
I mean, dude, they're running so much cover fire for this game. You know that I got hit, by the way, on my the first trailer reaction I did for Assassin's Creed Shadows. I got hit for hate speech for saying that women do not make protagonists. I just said that women don't make protagonists. Hate speech. So, okay, for one, whatever it is, YouTube is in bed with freaking Ubisoft on this one. In other companies, you know, because YouTube's done things with towards my channel. When I was going after the Fallout show, that's where I noticed some weird stuff. Like they were forcibly shutting off my comments, for instance, when I released my second video, which is actually the most viewed video on my channel. And mysteriously, ever since then, I haven't really had a lot of videos do that well in views, whatever. But you know, they kept on turning off the comments on that video and I kept on turning it back on. So I guess they had some random employee that was forcibly shutting it off. Whatever. It was so weird. But they have these people in their company playing cover for this. This is unacceptable. Again, you're treating citizens as criminals. Enough. Criminals end up in prison. There's no reason to be silencing citizens of these countries who are not criminals. This is unacceptable. And it's time that people get pissed off. It's time that people make something change. I don't know what the frick is going on because Trump signed an executive order on this. And YouTube still doing this bogus nonsense? Are you kidding me? What was the executive order good for? I don't see any changes. Ugh.
Speaking about the game, here's some of what Shohei Kondo said in his video regarding this. You ask me, what they did here is straight up censorship. There's no other way of putting it. Please watch.
I suddenly got this. My video was removed because of speech. Where? Where was it?
I mean, dude, why do you care? Why do you care about hate speech? It's a made-up idea. Tell them to go bone themselves, by the way. Tell them to go bone themselves. But this is disgusting. It's silencing people like this. This should be punishable by death in America. These companies doing this, it should be punishable by death at this point for them silencing people. And I absolutely mean it because they pushed it for so long and they think this is acceptable, just silencing people. No, this is punishable by death. Go F yourself. Jeez Louise. At the very least, it should be a heavy, heavy fine that they have to pay whenever they do this to someone. And I mean very heavy. I mean, they should have to pay like for every single, well, it has to be degrees of intensity, but you know, for what they're doing here, when they remove a video because of this, this should be like $100 million for a company like YouTube.
When did I say anything bad? I really don't understand. Yes, I talked about Asian right, but instead of me saying something hate, I got a lot of hate comments. But
why are you defending yourself? Tell them they're queers and go bone yourself. You freaking retards.
I kept them all and I just let my video go. If you've been watching my channel, you can tell I have many variations, right? I have gameplay talking about Japanese culture and debunking Japanese tourist tip, and also some video essay, and also about protesting Ubisoft. Most of all video, I'm speaking from my heart. Like I don't say bullshit, but I'll care about how I say it, but what I'm saying, all messages are from my heart, even gameplay. I'm so proud of it and I take responsibility of what I said. And also
bro, just call YouTube the N-word. What are you doing? Just call them the N-word. And again, if they do anything about you calling them the N-word, then they should be tried for the death penalty. It's that simple.
I do my best to entertain people and also be myself. But when it comes to Assassin's Creed Shadow game, I do this because I thought I need to do. Not because of my channel, not because of something, but because of I think it's right to do.
Censoring what a native Japanese man has to say about your game that destroys his culture and represents it in an inauthentic way like this, that is wrong on every level. But that is clearly either being done by pro-Ubisoft fans or I would guess bots that are being sent by Ubisoft to suppress any negative speak when it comes to Shadows. It's really...
I wonder if it is. It could be that it is bots flagging these videos because I got hit. Again, I said that women do not make protagonists and I got hit for that. And by the way, the video did get re-uploaded after I appealed it, but it stopped getting views. So, yeah. Wow. Awesome. Thank you for giving back my video. Sadly, it didn't get any views when it came back, which was retarded, but here we are.
Disingenuous and awful, and it will do nothing but make people not want to support this game or future things that Ubisoft makes in the future either. Because in my opinion, once you start resorting to censorship to suppress what your detractors are saying, it only proves that what they are saying is clearly absolutely right. There's no other reason for...
Not always true. Now, whenever a power structure is silencing people, it's because typically what the people are saying means that they're right in what they're saying, right? Why did Alex Jones get banned off of every platform. It's because he was saying something that was on the money, and they wanted to silence him. Why do you think they defamed him over the, you know, the thing? I'm not even going to call it what it is, but you know what it is. And you have a right to say that you think that something that happened wasn't real, by the way. And I don't even know, I don't even think that's exactly what he said, but he has a right to say that. He has a right to say whether or not he thinks it's real. You have a right to say that anything. You have a right to look at a cat and say, I think it's a dog, bro. You might be wrong. But now here's the thing. I understand people silencing people when they're saying, however, it's annoying when every day people are telling you you're a dog or a cat when you're obviously not a dog or a cat. You know, you're just walking around, they're like, you're a cat, you're a cat, you're a cat. When people just keep on saying a blatant lie to you, yeah, you silence them. Yeah, because like, shut the F up. Just stop lying. Stop being a blatant liar. And of course, you know, I can go back to what I was previously saying where you're allowed to ponder it. You're allowed to be like, you know what, bro? I think that's a dog, not a cat. But it's like, again, if you're just going to blatantly lie and en masse lie about something, I understand censoring people over that. Just because it's like, shut the F up. Just stop being a blatant liar. But when people are postulating something and they're questioning something, when people are sharing their thoughts about something, you don't silence that. That's ridiculous. You know, and like everyone is saying that this is ridiculous, using a black man to represent Japan. You don't silence that. That's ridiculous. It's so funny because then they don't want to silence the people saying that this is totally acceptable and actually correct and that this is the way that a game should be made. They don't want to silence those people.
Forwards, and even if this wasn't done by Ubisoft or them botting the entire thing, but was actually just Ubisoft fans, if anyone watching this reported Shohei's video for hate speech, I mean, you're a moron, and I'm not going to mince words here. And if you think it's morally justified to silence a Japanese man for speaking about protecting his culture, you have lost the...
Death penalty. Just death penalty. The First Amendment. Death penalty.
And I'm not going to mince words.
A bunch of dudes died for the First Amendment. Death penalty. If you're going to supersede the death of red-blooded Americans and all those men and all their deaths, then death penalty, death penalty, death penalty. Screw you.
And if you think it's morally justified to silence a Japanese man for speaking about protecting his culture, you have lost the plot. Because we both know if some game or movie made mistakes regarding African culture and then a black person made a video detailing why this and that was wrong, the video would never be censored nor reported for hate speech. And
it would not.
This is simply because they want to spin and push a narrative, and the community is more united than ever before here, and it is great to see. But doing this sort of thing is pathetic, and we should never support censorship at all. I'm sorry that this happened to you, Shohei, if you're watching this, and I hope that you can appeal it, and hopefully me talking about...
But I would censor people if they're just saying that you're a cat every day. And you're clearly not a freaking cat. Yeah, I mean, screw those people. Unless they're playing in on a joke. But when they're actually trying to say that factually, when people are trying to make up a blatant lie as truth, it just silence them. They're freaking retards. It's all I have to say. I mean, screw those people. They are beneath life. Death penalty.
Channel and video. I will put it in the description, by the way, if you want to watch it. And maybe if we can make enough noise about it, your content will be reinstated and that penalty will be removed from your channel. Because criticizing corporations that use people's culture like woke blunt weapons like this is not hate speech. It's morally right to call them out, and I don't...
There is no such thing as it. There is no such thing. There is no such thing. Because if we want to play that stupid retard game, we can say that this game is hate speech then. Just enough. Enough with this freaking term. Enough with everyone playing ball with this. This is retarded. This is stupid. Okay? You're using speech as a citizen. You have not committed any crimes. You are not in a prison. You are a citizen. You have the absolute authority in your country to speak your mind. Every country should be Americanized. And when I say Americanized, they should all have the First Amendment. You must be allowed to speak your mind. You must be allowed. This is unacceptable that any country does not have the First Amendment. Colonialism is good, and especially with the First Amendment. America should colonize every country with the First Amendment. What the freak is going on? And again, America needs to colonize its own borders right now with freaking First Amendment. YouTube, go bone yourself. Literally death penalty. Screw yourself, you freaking piece of trash platform. Love of God, every single one of these clowns, these absolute criminals who have gone to war against the First Amendment, death penalty. Death penalty.
Don't care who that offends. Japanese people deserved a game that didn't use their history like a playground for woke activists like this. Of course, they're also coming after other YouTubers as well for their takes, like Luke Stevens. He played Shadows as well and had many similar criticisms like SkillUp had too. He covered this on his clip channel, but to paraphrase him, pretty much he felt that Yasuke was also pointless to the overall gameplay experience when he played it. And his entire inclusion in terms of how he can interact with the world and such, it felt completely out of place, and Naoe was clearly who the game was designed for. And Yasuke just feels like he's in the wrong game, which I mean, yeah, it's pretty obvious that he was shoehorned in for certain reasons. Luke Stevens then reacted to one Reddit post that called him and SkillUp out specifically about their takes, and here's what it said. I said this plenty of times here, which is that Luke Stevens and SkillUp would spend most of their time ranking on the game and finding nitpick details to complain about. Both speak to the same type of demographic, and that means a very Ubisoft bad take. Even Luke took it upon himself to immediately jump on the Yasuke hate train. Not even 5 minutes into his video, clearly he knows how to dog whistle to his audience. I suggest to still watch their videos to get their take. So don't take these content creators seriously because they don't agree with me. Okay, cool. Reddit is gonna be Reddit like always, I guess. You ask me what they said, it seems to be the case. If you have eyeballs and a functioning brain, it shouldn't take you much to look at what's happening on screen in this game and go, yeah, this looks mid as hell. Then there was bounding into comics with this. Assassin's Creed Shadows Associate Director says it's been very tricky adapting feudal Japan into video game form. We want to avoid telling a culture about their culture. Well, that would be easy to do if you didn't slap Yasuke in it, but you did, so now you all look kinda stupid. Associate Director LeMay Comtoy had this to say about the game during their interview with Games Radar Plus. The team is really good at taking a place that has not been put in a game and then putting in games. The director then noted that it was actually this exact talent that caused them problems, as Japan is not an unfamiliar setting, but rather has been showcased in many medias, particularly by the nation's own culture of video game development. So we have to be very careful to handle it with care, to do our research, to due diligence, to double check with Japanese experts on astounding amounts of details, he added, raising the fact that locals took off their shoes when they went inside as an example of the astounding information they learned during this process. Yes, really. My god, dude. So Ubisoft didn't even know that people took their shoes off in Japan when they went inside their houses, and then these people decided to make a whole game set in that region. Bloody hell. Although, I guess
I mean, everyone should take off their shoes in their own home. You're a freaking raging retard loser if you don't take off your shoes in your home. There's a bunch of crap that you walk on outside. It only maintains the cleanliness of your home. And it shows a respect for your own home. You know, having a bunch of muck on the floor. It's just, you have to be a disgusting pig to not take off your shoes. What the frick is wrong with you?
You'd be surprised. I mean, there was this report going around from thegamer.com where they stated about 32% of all game developers right now in the Western games industry anyway are women or non-binary, and yeah, we can tell.
Yeah.
Look at the summary, man. Oh my god. Males still make up 66% of game developers, down from 75 in 2020. Almost a quarter of developers identify as LGBTQ+, a 3% increase, and racial diversity at studios is improving.
Oh man, the West has fallen. Oh, the West is so done.
The majority of developers are still white and Caucasian. Oh no, the majority is white developers. The horror.
Oh yeah, that's
Imagine
terrible.
saying that like it's somehow a bad thing. And saying that there's more non-binary.
Well, yeah, it's always been about replacement. It's always been about replacement. And white people, they feel bad that they're on top of the freaking pendulum right now. Well, previously, and now they're on the decline because replacement. It's all about replacement. It's all about the eradication of the winners, the white people.
Okay, what does that mean for games? Ignore the fact that this increase of these...
And these woke white retards are too stupid to realize what you support, wokeness. You support your own death. You support your own erasure. You're supporting it, and you're supporting the Browns taking you over, the Browns replacing you. You're supporting it, you freaking retard. And this is why the rope is free. The rope is free. Go eat it. Chew on it. The rope is free. If you literally want to incite your own death, then rope is free, bro. Go chew on it. But for some reason, you want to bring everyone else with you. You want to have a freaking a party rope. I haven't seen any of those in history, and I guess you're trying to be inventive for once in your pathetic, measly existence, creating the party rope where you can chew on it with your friends. I'm sorry, no one's your friend. You're freaking stupid. No one likes you. But you want to force everyone to join the party rope with you. No, how about no more party rope that you want everyone else to jump on board with. No, the rope is free. Go chew on it. You can do it as early as tomorrow. You pieces of filth.
Kinds of developers just so happens to correlate with Western games losing their credibility, power, and cultural significance all around the same time. Gee, I wonder why. Probably doesn't help that the Ubisoft executive guy way back admitted more than half the team making Shadows is junior developers too, and again, yeah, we can tell. Because how the hell do you make an open world game about climbing and come to the genius conclusion to make half of your playable characters?
He didn't react to being stabbed.
How the hell do you make an open world game about climbing and the team making Shadows is junior developers too, and again, yeah, we can tell. Because how the hell do you make an open world game about climbing and come to the genius conclusion to make half of your playable characters someone who can't climb, can't stealth, and can't synchronize with towers, and has basically none of the qualities that signify that a game called Ascreed should have someone like Yasuke in it to begin with. This could only come to be because the people working on it haven't made a game before, which they admitted to. I know people get mad when you point out patterns and things, but there's a reason for it. Humans are able to perceive these things for a reason, so we can recognize stuff so we don't do what doesn't work in the—
Yeah, people get angry when you say a man's a man or a woman's a woman or that men are smarter and faster and stronger than women. People get upset when you tell them the truth. People get upset when you don't tell them a BS lie.
future. And everything that I can see about Shadows and what it's connected to tells me one thing: this game is made by people who don't understand what fans want, and they are clearly panicking behind closed doors. Because when you gotta resort to erasing your main hero guy from your advert—
The graphics, it does look pretty bad. I don't know, there's something kind of grainy about it.
like he's the black door. Shadows and what it's connected to tells me one thing: this game is made by people who don't understand what fans want, and they are clearly panicking behind closed doors. Because when you gotta resort to—
Wait, am I on 1080p? Let's see.
erasing your main hero guy from your advertising like he's the Black Panther in a Chinese movie poster. You know there's a problem here that you really can't seem to fix. If Ascreed survives this release somehow, or Ubisoft in general, they should never do dual protagonists ever again if you ask me. Just make it one character, give us male—
I'm so sick and tired of duo. The first time they ever did duo protagonists, I was like, this is retarded. Because now you're writing scenes that's supposed to have both men and women. You're believing in this idea that men and women are interchangeable. Oh, I mean, there's so many scenes I saw where, like in Assassin's Creed Odyssey, for instance, scenes that were clearly written for a male character. The character holds themselves like a man. Like after having a brawl, and they're kind of like, oh, you know, a little bit groggy after the fight. Oh, hey man, what's up? It's like, hey bro, you okay? Yeah man, I'm doing all right. And you're playing as a woman. Okay bro, I'll see you later. Yeah man, I'll see you later. I just gotta recover. Man, I was fighting those guys. We were going at it. It was one after the other, and I was just slinging my fists. It was crazy, bro. It was all over the place. It was a crazy fight. Freaking retarded. And yet you have so many scenes clearly written for a man, and we're placing that onto a woman. Or what they also do is they just write a bunch of scenes neutrally, so that then it's like, well, it's not really meant for a man or a woman. They do this stupid thing, though, where it's like we have non-gendered language and non-gendered speech patterns. Women speak differently than men. And it's retarded when you make a female character in a game that doesn't speak like a female. And it's also retarded when you make a man that doesn't speak like a dude. Yeah, because men and women are different, you freaking retards. You freaking LGBT mafia retards. Screw you.
options and be done with it. I don't want to play as a guy who can't do what the game title says.
I've said this so many times. I've said, wait, why is there a random... Bro, there's literally a random plank placed onto that tree so that you can climb it? Really? They couldn't even make a groove in the tree for you to climb on. Bro. Okay, man. All right. This is getting to be Clown World. Oh my god. But no, this is my problem with the... I said this in the one Aspen Gold video, but I said this when I was talking about it. Actually, maybe it was the previous video in the upload schedule here. I don't know. Anyways, don't care. I mentioned how Assassin's Creed has a giant problem, which is that the game's too easy. Why is it that I can easily get into that fort just by climbing onto this tree that is obviously placed here so that I can get inside the fort? Why is it not difficult to get inside the fort? Why is it not like I'm overcoming a challenge getting inside so that then I have to overcome the challenge of getting through the fort to get to the target and then kill the target? Why is it not challenging? Because it just feels like whenever I see a target within an enemy fortress in Assassin's Creed, I just sit there and I'm like, oh, so it's just going to take like 20 minutes to run over there and then just press X and then it's done. And then I hold up on the joystick and we just get out. Like, it's just a matter of time and just moving from the distance between one location to the next, pressing a button, and then going to another location to press a button again. That's all it is. It's not difficult. There's nothing you have to think about, nothing you have to adapt yourself, plan for. There's nothing. There is no game. It's just go to place and do thing. And then do that thing again and again and again and go place. Go do the same crap and go to the same places. there's no game design here. And so there's no mechanics, and there's no variation of mechanics or exploration or variation of mechanics where we can experiment with different things. There's no experimentation here.
That would be like buying a Call of Duty game, being forced to play as someone.
Why are there so many planks on a tree so that you can climb it?
Can't do
what the heck?
The game title says.
What is
that would
this?
Be like buying a Call of Duty game, being forced to play as someone who fights with a can of beans. Get them out of here. Give me someone with a gun, for God's sakes.
Bro, what were they thinking? This is silly.
At this point, I can't even be mad. I'm more fascinated by all of this now. It's like watching a building that's engulfed in flames and you kind of don't want to put it out. You want to see how long it takes before the whole thing kind of collapses, but it's all a self-inflicted wound on Ubisoft's part. It's like hearing someone's house caught fire because they threw a frozen turkey in a pot of boiling oil. True story, by the way, that happened in my city. Someone did that. How long it takes before the whole thing kind of collapses, but it's all a self-inflicted wound on Ubisoft's part. It's like hearing someone's house caught fire because they threw a frozen turkey in a pot of boiling oil. True story, by the way, that happened in my city. Someone did that during Thanksgiving a few years back, and I'm not kidding, their entire house exploded. Like, everything was gone, the whole house had to be rebuilt, but that's what happens when you put dummies in charge. Good luck to Ubisoft, but censoring Japanese people from speaking their minds or erasing Yasuke from your marketing material is definitely one hell of...
How does that happen? How do you set fire? That's so weird. That literally makes no sense. How do you set on fire? That's weird.
Of a way to go considering where you guys are at right now with this game. But if you ask me, I am very much looking forward to Shadows. Oh my god, for all the wrong reasons probably. Oh well, they did it to themselves. Thank you for watching, subscribe, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you guys soon.
Yeah, well that's cute. Anyways guys, do not forget to pick up my books if you enjoy what the frick I'm doing here. The only way I continue doing this is by, well, again, guys, I made a bunch of books for you. Just so that we can finally have proper storytelling. No one else can do it. So, again, pick up my crap. Give it a check out. What, is this a new video? Ubisoft is closing down studios? How old is this video? I don't know. I don't know. But anyways, guys, seriously, go pick up my stuff. I can't keep on doing this, though, if you guys are not going to show me any appreciation for what I'm doing. So anyways, moving on into the next video.